and welcome to a very special episode of R&R's Ask the Expert. Today we are joined by Viola Management Associates and the Technician Award winner. So before we introduce the award winner for this year, I'd really like to toss it up to the Violan team and let them describe what this award means to them and why technicians are so important to our industry. So please welcome Jeff Jones.
Well, first, thank you very much. Thank you to our friends at R&R for allowing us to be part of this amazing campaign. We're absolutely honored. So thank you for everything that you're doing for the industry, and thank you to all the technicians who are out there. There's a lot of time, energy, money spent on the big names in the organization, the owners, the project managers, the salespeople, but the ones that make the biggest difference, the ones that truly separate one company from another, are most of the time the technicians. They're the ones who are really getting their hands dirty. There's a way easier way to make money than what the technicians are doing. They didn't grow up wanting to suck sewer water out of a stranger's basement at 2 o'clock in the morning, but they do it because they generally enjoy helping people. They want to get their hands dirty. They want to be a hero. They want to do something they're proud of. And this industry gives them that opportunity. So when you find the ones that really go above and beyond to do that and provide excellent service, both professionally and technically, to your customer, they need to be recognized because those are the heroes in our industry.
Thank you, Jeff, so much. I know this award means so much to you guys. And unfortunately, we couldn't give the award in person, but this is the next best thing. So, without further delay, please welcome the 2025 Technician Award winner, Kaylin Glaspie.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Glaspie. I'm with Clean Restoration.
Nice to have you here. A huge congratulations before we go anywhere with any questions or learning more about you. This was no small accomplishment for you. There was several other people who were nominated for this award, and you really stood out. So, really, on behalf of the R&R team and the industry, congratulations for winning such a phenomenal award in an early part of your career. I know you've worked really hard, so we really cannot say congratulations enough. Like, this is a huge accomplishment, and I know you feel that. So, with that being said, let's kind of dive into who you are and what this award means to you. So, what does this award really mean to you, not just personally and professionally, but just overall in your life? What does it mean for you to actually be recognized in the industry, to stand out in front of your peers?
Okay, so as a woman in restoration, I've worked really hard to earn respect. It's a little bit harder being a woman in a male-dominated field. It just shows that the long hours, the challenges, and the sacrifices that I've made are worth it. Not only that, it shows my commitment to my company, Clean Restoration, and my team and clients as well.
Yeah, and I would definitely say, this is a very male dominant industry, and you're the first female to actually win this award, which is another, accomplishment with that. And, I think it's just, your journey is not over yet. So I can't wait to see what you accomplish. There's a Women in Restoration Award, that's also, up for grabs in the coming years. And there's several other industry awards that I could definitely see you fitting into. And to your point, you have worked very hard and you've accomplished a lot so far. I can't wait to see what the rest of your career looks like. What does it mean for you kind of personally? And I know you're a mother, so what do you think that that's going to mean to your children?
Yeah, so I'm a mom of two boys. And for them to say, hey, my mom won this award when she's honestly just starting out in the restoration industry. I've only been doing this about 4 years. So hopefully they're proud when they're older. They're still pretty little, but
Yeah, I mean, they'll learn. I think, I started in this industry when my son was 1 years old and he is now 10. And I think he's invested as much as I am. And so you'll see that. You'll be away at times for work. And I think it's just really cool to kind of see how your kids idolize you and how much they care about what you do. So I have no like worry about how proud they're going to be of their mom for accomplishing something so amazing in her very beginning stages of her career, right? So what aspects of your work do you enjoy the most, and what keeps you motivated every single day in our industry?
I would say the what I love the most is the impact our work has. So we walk into chaos and we bring comfort. That's kind of a saying I live by. Every day and every project is a new challenge. So what keeps me motivated is the people. I mean, our team is phenomenal. I definitely wouldn't be here without them. But also the clients we serve. So I like making a difference in people's lives, and I feel like that's what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, yeah, you really are. I mean, we only ever see people on some of their worst days. It's not everybody's worst day, but majority of times it's like panic. They don't understand what's going on, and you're that voice of reason, that peace of mind. And to your point, your team is a huge part in that, right? Like, yes, you lead your team, but they're also an extension of you. So obviously, you're a great leader, and you guys have a very sound team, and so they've allowed you to grow, which that kind of brings me to the next thing. Since you've won this award, you've actually moved up in your company. So can you kind of share what your new role is and how that changes what you do now?
So yeah, I am now promoted to a project manager, very recent. I oversee not only the projects, but my crew as well, more than I did as a lead technician.
Very interesting. Congratulations on that. 2025, full of huge accomplishments and recognition for Miss Kaylin here. I think you have more growth that I know will happen in the future. So I can't wait to kind of see where you are next year and in the coming years because obviously you've worked very hard and it's paid off, and your dedication and love to this industry is unmatched. And obviously it's showing through you growing within your company. So or not where, were there any pivotal moments or learning experience that have helped shaped your career so far?
Yeah, so I would say stepping into leadership. When you step into leadership, your growth is dependent on other people's growth as well. So, like when I first started here at Clean 3 years ago, I was kind of just doing my job, and then about 6 months in, I was like, yeah, I want to grow. I want to be the best that I can be. So that's what I always strive to do.
It's very interesting that you talk about that, right? When you first start somewhere, you're really just kind of learning the business, learning the processes and procedure, and doing your job, like you said, right? And then once you get the hang of doing your job really well, the passion and just the attention to detail and things start to change a little bit, right? You're growing, you have bigger ambitions than you probably did when you first started, just because now you're comfortable, and that's everybody in any industry. But it's really cool to kind of hear, now that you are where you are, you're going to have that same moment, if you will, in this new role to maybe take you to the next role. I don't know what that looks like for you guys. I don't know if it's operations, but I think that those pivotal moments and learning experiences will help you continue to grow within your company. What advice would you give to other technicians who are already in the industry and looking to grow?
I would say always remember that your attitude plays a big part in everything. It sets the tone for every job, every day, any task that you are doing. Not only that, be willing to learn. Ask questions for every process, every procedure. If you don't understand it, just start asking questions.
That's a great tip. I will definitely say, especially when you're like with management or people who've been on the job for quite some time, or they've just kind of moved up. Sometimes you can get a little intimidated, but questions are the best things to actually implement into your day-to-day operations in life as a person. I think that chances are there's somebody standing next to you that has the same question, and you're not just getting that question answered for yourself and your growth, but you're actually helping your team. To your point, it's a leadership quality, whether you're a lead technician, an entry level technician, maybe 6 months in. No matter where you are in your career, questions are extremely important to help you learn and grow. And it also helps you serve your customers that much better, right? I'm sure there's instances that you can remember where you're like, if I wouldn't have asked that question, I probably wouldn't have been able to be of best service at that time if I wouldn't have asked those questions. And I think, for those technicians who are listening and have, admiration to win this award or any other industry award, asking questions is one of the most simple things to do. Except for sometimes it's really hard because you get embarrassed or intimidated, but just do it. I mean, Kaylin is walking proof. She's definitely grown in her career. When you read her piece about where she came in to the industry, you will understand that she just really took this opportunity to seize the moment and take advantage of what was in front of her and allow herself to grow. So for any of you guys listening, yes, ask the questions, but also don't have that fear of not being able to grow because Kaylin is living proof here on this version of Ask the Expert. What's the most memorable project that you've worked on, and what made it stand out the most to you?
I would say we did a large commercial grocery store. It was extremely high profile. We had a lot of strict deadlines. It really taught me I need to be in communication with not only my team, but also the management of that grocery store. I got to keep everybody on the same page while making sure that we're meeting every deadline. And I'd say it stood out because it showed me how powerful teamwork can be, especially when we're all sharing the same common goal.
That's very interesting to say that, especially because it takes a team, right? It's not just one person or two people, it's an entire team. And yes, you're receiving this award based on your hard work, your dedication. But again, those moments are able to happen because you have an amazing team. And communication is actually really important for with not just internally, but your customers as well, right? That satisfaction, that peace of mind, they come together when you have a sound team, but also top tier communication. So, I'm sure that project turned out really well. And, grocery stores are probably a sense of panic because they have to be open every day. That's how they make their money. So I'm sure there was some extra layers of stress and chaos, but I know you guys prevailed. So that's really cool to really hear the communication and the teamwork really stuck out to you because that shows what type of leader you are, but it also shows what type of team player you are. You're not afraid to roll up your sleeves, which is really cool because that's something that I think our industry is really great at. No matter where you are in the business, you have to roll up your sleeves, sometimes very often, sometimes not as often, but I think that's what makes our industry so great. And you are another piece of proof for us, if you will. So, how do you hope this industry award for you and recognition will inspire others who are in the industry and maybe those who are kind of thinking about coming into the industry, whether it's the younger generation, older generation, and even women? I think we're seeing more women come into our industry. So, what do you hope this does for the future generations to come?
I would say don't be intimidated. When I first started, I would say I was pretty intimidated. There's a lot to learn. And even to this day, I'm still learning. Not only that, like I said earlier, I always strive to be the best that I can be, kind of like a little competition with myself, if you will. I hope others can do the same. You don't always have to chase titles to make an impact. When you lead with effort, success naturally follows.
That is very true. Well said. And I will say, I think most of us have an internal battle with ourselves. We're also our biggest critic, if you will, too. So it's a great way to really push yourself forward. I know your kids probably play a really big role in that. I know my son plays a really huge role in my growth and my admiration to make a difference, whether it's small or large, right? And I think for you, small, large, medium size impact means the world. And so, for those of you listening, whether you're in the industry or new in the industry or maybe well into your career, I would definitely take those words of wisdom from Kaylin and really apply them because I think to your point, we make a difference every single day. And you're always building a legacy, right? You're building a legacy for yourself and your kids and their kids, though they're not here yet. But, it's just one of those things that later down the road, you want to be able to say, hey, I did that. I did that for myself, but I also did it for my family. And no matter what it is, you inspire at least one person and you've done your job, whether it's your children or somebody else watching. So I don't have any more questions. Do you have any final thoughts before we sign off?
I don't think so.
All right, perfect. Well, another huge congratulations to you. I hope you are able to, show this award with pride, maybe hang it up or show it on your desk. And we are so thankful to have people like yourself in this industry. Thank you for pushing yourself and your team every day. And thank you so much for all that you do. For all of you watching, thank you for tuning in to this special episode of Ask the Expert. Take care.